Hey everybody, welcome to the next video. Today we're going to be looking at RNG Xiaohu, who currently is the highest rated mid laner inside of the world's players. So some people are playing solo queue more than others. He is actually playing way more solo queue with having already 56 games played, 75% win rate, and he's already playing inside of games with multiple challengers being inside of it. As you can see, his last game had 3 challengers, so his MMR is very high. We're going to be looking at his Sylas gameplay of this game down here, where he went 15-3. Already looked over it. There's lots of information about like what he does better than all of these other players. And you can see he even played versus a challenger who is 1,127 LP, who popped off top lane. And we're just going to be looking at what he does. My other video, I think that I could have went more in depth over like things that you can do into your own gameplay. So I'm going to be going more over that. But you can see his Sylas, he's been spamming it the most. He's absolutely nuts at it. I mean, this is also all inside of high elo. With Grandmaster, Master Tier mix. That's an elo that sometimes I play in to get videos. And it's not easy to perform so well, so consistently, right? So he just absolutely is crushing on it. If you don't know who RNG is, they're an LPL, which is the China region, and also at MSI this year, which was 5 months ago, they got first place. They beat T1, so Faker's team. They beat T1 there and managed to secure first. So he is the MSI winner mid laner. So with that out of the way, also one last thing, here is the gold chart for this game that we're going to be looking over. And you can see that it was not a stomp by any means, and they were actually behind until he makes a play at 19 minutes. So we will definitely be going over that because I looked it over already, so I have like good talking points over it. And he does something pretty impressive that makes it so he actually pops off at that moment. So with that being said, let's get into the actual game. And also, here are his runes that he's taking for this game. So, Sylas runes going versus Ahri. And also, he is not taking second wind. He took bone plating, which is kind of interesting because normally I don't take bone plating myself. So, it's a bit interesting. Firstly, I'm not going to turn on pings. You gotta believe me, it is extremely loud because it shows pings on both sides. He also opted for a Doran's Ring start rather than a Doran Shield. When I have played this matchup is very good for Sylas if you can make it past laning phase, because Ahri's damage is low enough to the point that normally you will just out-heal her. So he went for E start and was looking for like a level 1 cheese on her there, which is why he was like walking over. But normally I just let her shove me in because I'm afraid of getting hit by her auto attack electrocute proc with her starting W, but you'll see that he gets 3 creeps, plays it well. She used W on the wave. I think that honestly was a mistake, but it's very hard to tell, like, people are going to make mistakes sometimes. She just used her W, so that is down, so it might give him a window, and that's probably the reason for this trade here. He wants to try to abuse her not having her W. You can see that she barely got off at the very end, but a somewhat even trade. And honestly, during the early game, I think I wouldn't be going for those trades. So something to like maybe do inside of my own gameplay for the future. As soon as Ahri W is on a low cooldown, so you have a very short window to do it, but it worked out pretty well. He's just last hitting minions at this point. Maybe playing around Ahri's range. If normally when I play versus Ahri, she plays pretty aggressive. That trade there, when he goes in, lands W, and then immediately leaves, I would have never done it. From what I've seen for most Worlds players, they play very aggro around spell cooldowns. And the thing to realize is that there's nothing special about Worlds pros. They just do the basic stuff almost flawlessly. League of Legends is not really that complicated of a game. You just want to CS well, you want to play around wave states, you want to play around enemy cooldowns, be aware of your surroundings with map vision, and just with your enemy spells, and also play your own champion well. And if you can do just all of those things very well, you're going to be in a good spot. So he's trying to get this wave crashed, by the way. It's not a comfortable position for him to be in right now. You can see that he's actually not leveling up an ability. He actually goes for Q here to try to shove in the wave. Level up Q. and he goes forward on Ahri as soon as she steps up a tiny bit too far to look for an auto attack, and puts himself behind this minion. This is the tiny, tiny, tiny nuances that, like, sometimes you might miss, and what makes it so impressive. So I'll just slow it down. When he goes in, it's when she steps up a tiny, tiny bit too far. This is not even what he's maxing first, his W. So immediately goes in, he has his Karthus nearby, and then he puts himself behind the creep. It seems simple. It's not complicated stuff. As I said, League of Legends is not that complicated of a game. But then trying to imitate his style and do these tiny mechanical things that are going to make it so you don't get punished back is difficult to pull off. Because one tiny misplay, if he didn't put himself behind that minion, the charm lands on Ahri, maybe he would have gotten ignited and even put himself underneath tower and just immediately dies. So he goes for a reset here and TP's back in the lane. He has TP advantage on this Ahri. What? He TP'd bot. Okay, well, I missed that. Alright, I don't know the reasoning for TPing bot unless he doesn't find anything. Okay. I wasn't paying attention to the map, so clearly something happened. Even still sticking around. Is he just helping them with their lane state? This isn't even fixed, though. I'm just going to assume that he stayed there to try to fix the lane state. He did ping Ahri Flash according to the chat log just now. I don't know if that means that he's setting up a Leona gank or anything like that. For his items, he went Boots Darkseal. Honestly, pretty standard. A lot of people go Darkseal, and Boots is very valuable to move in speed. So this wave definitely needs to be pushed under tower. This is a pretty uncomfortable situation right now. He does have his Leona hovering him, so he could play maybe a little bit more aggressive if he needs to get that wave under. He'll probably use his Q on back wave here. He's not going to go for harass. Going for harass is kind of difficult when somebody's so close to their tower. So as you can see, he just went for the wave. And then Ahri's like still freezing it just to make it so she is closer to his tower, to her tower, I should say. And then because she is closer to her tower, he can't punish. So once again, he's probably going to go for the wave again. Whenever you're inside this scenario, that's all you can go for. You can see his team is down 5,000 gold as well. One thing that I noticed about watching so many of these pro games is just, you don't need to win the early game. You don't need to dominate your opponent. CS-wise, he's even, like completely even with her. And in my opinion, that's actually doing pretty good because, as I said earlier, this matchup is something that I don't personally enjoy playing. But I guess it's taught me to be patient. You don't need to go... Pros aren't going 3-0 in the first 6 minutes, right? It's 6 minutes in the game. He hasn't even secured a single kill yet. That's fine, dude. Short trade. Immediately Ahri ulti's out. Dodges everything. Oh my god. Okay, so what he did there was he purposely got hooked by Nautilus here. Let's actually go over everything that just happened. Again, in slow motion. So they're going to get ganked by Ahri. He actually steps up to try to hit her, making her back off, but he gets 6 on the wave, which he definitely knew. Immediately flashes away because he doesn't want to get hit by Ahri Charm. Also ultis away from it. And what he does is he purposely allows Nautilus to try to hook him, but he puts himself behind tower so the Nautilus can't hit him with the auto attack. Because you can reposition yourself at the same time, and Nautilus actually stopped himself. So he actually almost made it so Nautilus stayed under tower too long and could even die. He got ignited by Ahri, and this was just like really well played mechanically. I think that in my opinion, I probably wouldn't have reacted fast enough and died. But the reason for his initial step up versus the Ahri was he hit Q on her, hit W, and then he was gonna turn level 6 and maybe go for a 1v1 play most likely. But as soon as multiple people show up, he got out fast. I mean, I'm not sure if maybe he was not aware of where the enemy team was, or he just knows that he can escape a gank with Ahri ultimate no matter what. But that was pretty insane. I think that I probably would have died there. Yet he still carries this game. 7 minutes in the game, still 0-0, right? When you're playing inside of very high elo, and, you know, after so many games, he's played 56 games, he is playing inside of nearly Challenger MMR at this point. There's one Challenger on both sides of the team. it's much harder to punish your lane and actually get huge leads just through skill at that point. It's going to be other stuff. So gets the first wave in. Every single time you get a wave in, always looking to maybe try to make something happen. So he walked over no vision because he has sweeper. He can take Nautilus ulti here. Should be a free kill, right? Yeah. Gets a kill from a bot lane roam. So making a play happen whenever you have an opportunity of getting that first wave shove on your opponent. Try to do something with it. Why did he get the first wave shove? He might be abusing that Ahri has no ultimate, because that's something that also shows up a little bit later that we're going to see. But take all of the league basics, put them all together, play basically flawless with those basics, and you have a Worlds player. That's, in my opinion, the thing. I mean, mechanics matter as well, but I think the decision-making is one of the biggest things for these players. Ahri actually roamed top here, not sure if you guys saw that, but Ahri got a top kill onto the enemy Aatrox. And the Aatrox is having a very bad game. He actually starts like getting solo killed by this Jax over and over again. And you can see bot lane, the enemy bot lane, their Kai'Sa is 1-0. Like, it's a very, very even game so far. It's not crazy at all. So he's just getting these plates because Ahri did roam. There's nothing for him to do except for shove out, using his abilities on the wave, but also hitting the tower. Sylas is okay at taking towers, because whenever you use an ability, you get that passive off. Also, for his max, he went for 3-point Q and then 3-point W. It's something that some people do for the early game wave clear, and then you go for the healing afterwards. There's a lot of people doing different types of builds, but sometimes I've done this myself. And for his purchase, it looks like he's just going Everfrost Rush. Doesn't go level 2 boots immediately. So just going to sit on the level 1 boots and going for the Kindle Gem. So he'll have that Everfrost very soon. This clears out the wave. Normally you don't let waves crash with Sylas. Your wave clear is good enough that... Oh, he might look for Ahri here. He just saw where she was, so... Now he saw that there was a pink ward here, so he goes for it. And I remember this. He actually just immediately dies here. So, Worlds players, they can make mistakes. He thought that, you know, he is safe enough to take that ward. And clearly he wasn't. Makes a mistake, dies for it. You know, gods can bleed, right? And they actually lose an objective off of it, maybe? TP's back mid. Benefit of having TP. Doesn't really lose much of the wave. Ahri was rotating bot. Nope, didn't get pinged out. And also, his Karthus went to Rift Herald to try to contest, and died as well. So, also his jungler is now dead. Also, Ahri does have her ultimate, too. I think a lot of times when he does play aggressive, it's because she doesn't have ultimate, so he knows he can play aggressive. He's also down a level, something that I always talk about as well, a lot. At this point in the game, normally it's just... Oh, wow. Just barely didn't get hit by the charm. As long as he just plays push out wave, contest, push out wave, contest, that's like the nature of high elo. Going for 1v1 plays normally is like based off of how the enemy also plays. Why did he base? To finish Everfrost? And then he sold his potions to buy a pink ward. Okay. Also, Aatrox got solo killed top. You can see the Jax 3-0 already. They're getting absolutely blasted up there. So he's heading back mid. Ahri is going to rotate bot because she has first push here. Whenever he has first push, he goes somewhere. When she has first push, she's also going to rotate somewhere. So he's going to start rotating through river. You can see here's the fight down here. Ahri goes for the kill on Triss, but actually doesn't get it through an auto attack. And they're all super low. And this was a funny thing for me. He's going to get all 4, right? Because he's a pro player, right? I thought to myself, if I was to play this, I probably would miss out on a few kills, but no. He also only manages to pick up 2 of them. I'm like, wow, really? It made me feel very validated, where it's like, you know, sometimes people will spam ping you after these plays. They're like, you didn't kill all of them? They're all 1 HP. Nope. The pro players are exactly the same. So, if you guys didn't notice, Kai'Sa ran away, right? He's still looking for her, and he almost catches her. And I think that's also insane. If that Q landed, she would have died. So he knew where she was going to base, and actually committed, I guess, knowing around the timer of her back timing. Now, this is important. He's spam pinging on the way mid lane right now, and he pinged Ahri Flash and R I also would have not done this. This is a very small thing. Ahri used ultimate bot, so it's down for like another 30 seconds. It's only a 30-second window. They literally have to do this play now, but he asked his Leona to come mid because of this, and you can see it over there. She used it bot side, and she went bot, got kills, reset, came back mid. That was a long time, and he still was saying Ahri ultimate was down. And it might seem simple, because, as I said earlier, League of Legends is simple, but just because he, like, is asking for that play, manages to give himself a lead with his team. I mean, one thing is that definitely the pros play as if their whole entire teammates definitely have a great understanding of the game, which is what we're going to see later with the TP flank as well. But the reason why he's getting advantages right now is just because of spell cooldowns. Ahri ultimate's down. Let's just ask for a gank. But it becomes more complicated when the Ahri ultimate was used such a long time ago, you know? It's not like she just used it in front of him. But he knows that the cooldown is like 100 seconds long, so he has a certain window to go for it. Once again, he pushed out mid, Ahri was dead. He has time to go somewhere again. Doesn't ever go top lane. Maybe he has the attitude of, you know, let's not go for the person that maybe can 2v1 us. Look at the Jax. He's 5-0, has a Divine Sunder and a Frozen Heart, extremely fed. So just sack that lane and continue trying to help the lane that's more even bot side. I mean, even his bot lane, who he's playing for, the only person that's really falling behind is this Nautilus support. You can see the Kai'Sa's actually doing fine. She's 2-1. He's going aggressive here for the Ahri. Get her ultimate out, trying to back away. He's getting hit by everything, but the issue is Ahri doesn't deal enough damage, so we'll see if he can even escape. I'm guessing no. Yeah. And he even throws away his lead. He's trying to play aggressive at times, but you get caught out. I mean, he might have not been paying attention to where Nautilus was at the time, possibly, or where the Jax was, and you get punished for it. But that's not the end of the world. You can see that they're actually down like 1.5k at this point. And as I said, nearly the entire game, they're actually behind until he makes one play, which you guys are going to see around like 18 minutes into the game. I'll speed it up to make him respawn. He has no TP at this point. He does have Nautilus ultimate. He was looking for Jax there. I didn't get to see how low the Jax was. He sees Ahri and the Kayn are rotating bot, so he's going to follow them here all the way down. You see that Leona is the only person here. This was a pretty ridiculous play. I mean, it just shows that high elo really can make huge mistakes. So they try to dive Leona here, and he's just going to loop up behind them. Just kills the Kai'Sa first, and then Kayn and also Ahri just have no way out because he just uses the Nautilus ult to lock down this guy. So he gets a free kill. In fact, even the Ahri commits to kill this Karthus and doesn't kill. So huge mistake by the enemy team. But even after all of that, and he is starting to get quite an advantage, you can see that he's, I think, going for Zhonya's right now. That's why he has the Fiendish Codex and the Amplifying Tome. They're still behind. They are still behind. He decides to push out bot for the wave. We just saw Jax mid. The enemy team, you can see many of them are dead. Who's going to contest him from taking the objective of the tower? No one, right? There's literally nobody that could be there except for Jax if he somehow rotated all the way from mid to bot, which he obviously is not going to do. And he has his TP and he pings it out as well. The play is coming up that basically turns around the entire game. So, his team is currently doing the Rift Herald. Secure it. He has TP available at this time. He's joining top for now because bot wave is really far away. What's the point of going bot unless there's actually a wave to collect? This is time where, as Ahri is pushing out bot, he can come mid, see if a fight breaks out, and he can join the fight without burning TP. Once Ahri starts shoving in the wave, you can see that it's going to crash soon. That's when you rotate over to side lane to pick it up. You don't just go side... Oh, okay, and there's a Kayn here as well. I mean, he used Sweeper. I guess he just anticipated that there might be a pick going off. Got really big damage off that guy. And Ahri, he grabs the Ahri ultimate, puts himself into the minion wave so he doesn't get hit by any more abilities besides just her charm and starts shoving it out. Now, this is important. Sylas has TP and Ahri doesn't. So he instantly TPs when they're up a little bit and spam pings on the way and goes behind for a flank play. And just immediately jumps on the important targets. Jax is here with a very fed target, and they all turn on top of him and start killing him as well. Now the Ahri is nowhere to be found. Why? She can't rotate fast enough. He, no hesitation, burned his TP as soon as they were overextended, and that forces a numbers advantage fight. That's the reason why you take TP, and honestly something that I used to do very well in the past, but I kind of suck at now. If you ever are side lane and you have TP and the enemy team doesn't, you can instantly start a numbers advantage fight, depending on if your teammates have like hard engage stuff. If he had a Janna or Soraka, I don't know how easy it would be because, you know, it's a little bit tougher, but I imagine he would still go for it. So he sees the enemy team is overextended a little bit, immediately TPs here, flanks all of them, goes for the kill, heads back bot, clears out the wave because you should always be clearing out waves and things all the time. And that's what gold swings us back into the game, because the Aatrox, who was 1 in 5, got 1 kill on the Jax that gives him 1,000 gold. The Jax had a 1,000 gold bounty during that fight, and that instantly brings Aatrox back into the game. So basically, because the Sylas flank happened, he brought his teammate back in. The best ultimate to grab, by the way, is always Ahri, so if he can grab it, he will. Yeah, he can't. So he grabs Nautilus instead. The Ahri ultimate is still on cooldown for him. As you can see, he's not really doing anything, but that's okay. Sometimes inside of teamfights, you are just a body. You are trying to see if anybody's ever going to go in on you. He goes for the Nautilus here because he's the only one that can really be caught out at this point, so you can see he just goes for that. The Kane's actually going to go for Tristana, but probably dies for it, I'm guessing. Oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, nice. He flashes over, no hesitation again, with the plays, very quick. And even with Kane flashing away, it still lands. Also, for his items, he did finish that Zhonya's, just like I said. But pay attention to, like, items. Look at Jax's items. He has 3 items. Sylas theoretically has 2. I know that, like, the Medjai's counts as well, but goes for, like, Kai'Sa damage here. Manages to kill her as well. And then Eve's the Ahri charm, doesn't get hit by that either, kills that person as well. This is where the mechanics show up when he finally gets fed. But before all of this, it was mostly just decision making and also not getting punished by a lot of the enemy plays. The 3-man gank mid didn't work. He did die a couple times, as you saw, but overall, very clean gameplay. And I would say most of the reasons why these players get so strong and dominate others is because of their understanding of when to take a fight and how to create fights as well. This is also why Sylas is played a lot right now. A lot of the players are playing Sylas, Akali, Zoe. LeBlanc is being played a lot. And even with a terrible win rate, LeBlanc still played all the time because she has that playmaking opportunity. So once again, going side lane, I mean, that's what Sylas is, a side laner. I don't know if he would be able to beat Jax 1v1, but it's good that he's always on the opposite side of Jax. I mean, he definitely beats Ahri 1v1. She's so far behind. For his item, he went for a Needless. And another fight is breaking out. Tristana got caught out. He's just going to try to help his teammates, but nothing to accomplish here. The enemy team is taking the Hex Gate in. He takes Ahri, ult, goes back in, uses Chain, lands it on the Kayn for big damage, going deep for the Ahri. He's going to die for this, but he did manage to get off huge damage. So he did help out his team enough that they actually were able to clean up, and I think that they even get the Baron here, 2-man Baron. So we'll just speed it up as they do it. It's only these 2 guys alive. Tristana dies. Aatrox is about to die, but he secures it, just barely. And now the gold swing is getting even bigger. He went out and then back in. That's pretty normal Sylas gameplay if you can grab something that gives you multiple dashes. So he had Ahri ultimate, so dashing away to make it see. So people sometimes get caught out of position. Their carries walk forward, which means that he has an easier way of flanking behind the Nautilus and things. So that's what he can do. For his item, he went for another Needless, so he is going for that death cap. Jax is top. Actually gonna try fighting the Jax. The Jax is scared. But also, this is important. I believe the reason why he even tried to fight the Jax here is because he did have his teammate behind him, this Karthus. That is very important as well. He is probably aware that if Jax does come onto him, right, he does have his Karthus right there to start something. Tristan is getting caught out by the Kayn on the minimap. You can see that he's being chased down. The Jax is now 15. Okay. A little bit of damage. He's trying to play around his Karthus still. His teammates are finding picks onto the enemy team. The Ahri is still pushing bot, by the way, just going for towers. And also Tristana died to the Kayn, but although the Kaisa died as well. Okay, so they're collapsing bot. No, okay. He's saying the Ahri's not staying, so I'm not staying either. Looking for Kayn now. There's no objectives available. So, I guess his main goal right now is just looking for picks. Oh, he got level 16. That's big. The objective is coming up pretty soon, which is the dragon. If he lands any of these E's, he can definitely get a much bigger chunk off on Kayn. Oh! This should land, right? Oh, never mind. I thought he was going to E again. Hey, Ahri is walking in, looking for... She looked for a pick on the Karthus there, but immediately dies to the Leona. He goes for the Nautilus, who is easier to kill than the Jax. I think that's actually pretty interesting, like, choice. I would have honestly went for the Jax, because I'm like, he's more important, right? But he actually takes longer to kill, so I think it's fine going for that person. Kills everybody. Well played by him. So, the game's basically over now. It's not going to be much longer. I'll, like, speed up a little bit. But the main takeaways are... You can do a lot with the most basic information, as long as you can do everything at once. As I said earlier, League of Legends is not that complicated. CS well... Understand wave states, understand how to pressure when your teammates are around, make good macro play with TP, be inside of the correct situation inside of team fights and things like that. It's not like they're inhuman and do more crazy stuff than other players, in my opinion. It's just really good decision making across the board that make it so they're so consistent inside of their games. So, oh, I closed it out. Once again, he's climbing very fast. He'll be Challenger probably before you know it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary. Try to go a little bit more in depth about things so you can take away from his own gameplay. But very consistent. You can see that even games where like his teammates are failing, 0-16, he does perform very well. Obviously, can't always carry every single game. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video of the Sylas commentary, be sure to let me know inside the comments below. Chovy has arrived as well. And also, if you did make it this far, I do stream almost every single day. And my streaming schedule is basically after I upload. So after this has been uploaded, I probably will be streaming. And I'm looking for Worlds players. So, just an important thing. I am actively looking to go against Xiaohu, or Scout, or Knight, or Chovy, or Faker, or Humanoid. So if you guys are interested in watching me look for these players, which I have not found, I've been trying a lot, be sure to check out my stream, because that's what I'm actively trying to do as they are still playing in Worlds. You know, I want to play against them and make a video on it. So thanks for watching once again. Hopefully you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.